M. Toga. 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 Toga.
Hello, welcome to Billy Ho Sports. This week we're covering a big stakes weekend at Saratoga Springs at the Spa. So this Saturday, have your notification bell set. This is the preview for the first couple of big stakes races, and then I'm going to do the Whitney next. So be on the lookout for that. Betting strategy show will come out later on this week once we get the past performances updated and everything. So look out for that as well. I appreciate everybody who's already subscribed to the channel and supporting with the comments and likes and everything. That's so great. But if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. I would very much appreciate that. So what we're going to start with today is going to be the Derby Invitational, the turf. And we're going to do the test. And then the next video will be the Whitney. I'm going to do the Whitney solo. So Derby Invitational, 1.125 miles on the turf. Let's get started. All right. Well, I am going to start with the Chad Brown trained program trading. He broke his maiden back in May at Monmouth Park. And now his second one out was at Belmont. And you can see by the replay on here, he sits right on the hip of the leader in second place, which is just perfect. And when it's time to fire, he runs right by. Much the same in the maiden win previous to this. So, okay, fun fact. Chad Brown has 16 graded stakes wins this season on the turf. That's just turf racing. I just noticed him just blowing everybody away the last month or so with these turf victories, and I had to go look it up to see what the number was. So this one has to be considered. Chad Brown's just really been ripping it up on the turf recently. So the next one up is going to be Truly Quality, and that's trained by Jonathan Thomas. He broke his maiden here at Belmont a few weeks back. So we're taking a look at that. His first two outings were second place finishes where he just couldn't catch the leader. But this time around, he runs a very efficient race, tracking the leader and not letting him get too far away through these fast fractions. And then he's able to close off 6-length gap before hitting the stretch without using up all his energy. And once he takes over the race, he closes the deal. So both these first two horses have some potential, but I'm not quite sure what the experience they have to handle this field. So anyway, Lion of War is kind of an interesting one to me, trained by Charlie Johnson, raced over in Great Britain, in the UK, in several handicaps. This most recent one at Ascot shows this horse's stuff. Now, it's going to be kind of hard to see on the replay here, but he's the number 13 horse in the dark red or burgundy colored silks, almost kind of like the shirt I'm wearing in this video. So he is on the inside for most of the way, and I did do a little circle job on him around this corner here. I hope you can see it. On the inside, he's fighting for running room, and it looks like he just gets it a bit too late as once he breaks through and starts running. He gets there for second place. So I don't know if he maybe doesn't have to check up a little bit right in there. He might have been in it a little better. But horse might be a little unknown. The trainer, relatively unknown to most, but he's young, from Middleham in the UK, just 33 years old. His father was a trainer, and he's been working for the family barn for since he was a kid. Basically, keen eye for pedigree is what they said about him. So pretty good stuff there. I like the value that he should bring. Battle of Normandy is next, trained by Shug McGahee. And if you've watched any of my previous betting videos, you know I go through the past performances, and I always like to read the comments. And a comment that I keep seeing over and over about Shug McGahee is poor graded stakes record. Is not great, Bob. So anyway, on the turf this season, he's 3 for 24. and has just one graded stakes win since February. He won 2 like in the first couple of months. But Battle of Normandy ran a good closing effort here from the way outside and post 13 to get the place money. So he also ran 5th in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile last fall at Keeneland. So an interesting horse, but we'll reserve judgment once we get a better look at the past performances. Next, Christopher Clements Mondego. Now, this one led the Belmont Derby, which I'm going to show you probably over and over a couple of times because the next couple of horses I mentioned all ran in this race. So anyway, this one led the Belmont Derby before giving away to eventual winner Farbridge. And he also actually got nipped at the wire for second by the Foxes, which was a nice exacta for me that day, I do recall. And I'm interested in how he responds to running such a big race at 41-1 odds. And a lot of times I don't really, and it's what I've read up on it as well, horses that run these big races at long odds don't really muster it up for the next race to run a repeat type that. But, you never know. I do like, actually, the way Silver Knot, he put that horse away around the turn for home here. Silver Knot was a horse that was part of my wager and a contender in that race. And they ran together up through the final turn there. And he thwarted Silver Knot's challenge, basically. So that's always a good thing. So anyway, we're going to keep on this Belmont Derby theme with Mark Cassie's Web Slinger, who was way back in this race and down the stretch made a rally to finish 4th. And he had back-to-back stakes victories prior to that. So he will look to improve and get back to the winning form this weekend. We'll see. Farbridge is next, trained by Todd Pletcher. This was the horse that I liked in the Belmont Derby there. And any progeny of English Channel has me interested on the turf routes. He was my pick to win that Belmont Derby, and he did deliver. So he's my first look favorite to win this race. Now, on to the G1 Grade 1 test. 7 furlongs on the dirt for the ladies. Pretty mischievous, I should say. I believe that's how it's pronounced. Pretty mischievous. Looks like the one to beat here. The winner of the Grade 1 Alcorn over the next, over the next 2 horses that we're going to all preview together similarly. So the G1 Alcorn is what we'll be looking at. So Brendan Walsh trains this filly, and she is boss. She stalked the pace in the Acorn and responded when asked. And she was able to put away the front runner Money's Gold, who's also in this race, but did have to grind it out versus Darth Vader, also in this race. So she backed up that impressive win. If you recall, she is actually the Kentucky Oaks winner, where she ran almost the same style race, sitting right off the leaders and then taking the lead coming home. Money's Gold was that way as well. Money's Gold, trained by Todd Pletcher, lost as the favorite in the 8 Bells on Oaks Day, running the same style race she ran in the Acorn. So front runner, she was out front the whole way, only to be passed at the toward the stretch by Red Carpet Ready. I thought she fought back pretty well, though. Actually, she looked like once horses get past, they don't really come through. But as you can see, she fights back, but just came up short. So I do like that. A little battle back action. So next up, Darth Vader, trained by Michael Yates, who passed on the Grade 1 American Oaks a few weeks ago for this spot. So we already saw how she battled pretty mischievous in the Acorn, and she ran pretty well in the Kentucky Oaks. I'm not sure she can turn the tables this time around, but she is definitely one that I'm going to have interest in my exotics. Absolutely. Next up, we have Maple Leaf Mel, finally stepping up in class after ripping off 5 straight to begin her career. This win in the Grade 3 Victory Ride was a fought victory. She goes right out to the lead and never looks back, holds off all the challengers, and didn't really lose any ground down the stretch, which is always good. So Mel and Money's Gold, I think, will be out front running early. The next horse will be Jersey Pearl, is trained by Darren Miller. This one has been rolling through Allowance Company as well. This effort by Open Links proves to me she's ready to move up. Ellis Park, now she's ready for Grade 1 Company. Jury might still be out on that, but she is definitely a good-looking horse, like Jersey Pearl. Next up, Tappin' Josie, trained by Horatio DePaz. She ran third in the Parks Stakes race in the slop that I'm showing you. I think she's a long shot, no play, so I'm going to have to pass. Clearly Unhinged is trained by Mike McCarthy, and she is coming off a fourth place finish in the Santa Anita Oaks. She ran well heads up versus Feza, but gave way early down the stretch. So she came back off the layoff to win a 6.5 furlong race. So this 7 furlong distance might be the right distance for her. But she's probably in this race, honestly, my 5th choice. So I'm not really sure if she'll make the exotics. Alva Star is trained by Brett Brinkman, and she ripped through the field in this Dashing Beauty Stakes and won going away. She could provide some early speed to test some of these other ones I mentioned, like Mel and Money's Gold. So I'm curious about this one. I think she can be on the front end, but she'll need to look a little deeper because she's making a big jump in class. So when you mop up the lower class like that, it is noticeable. So anyway, these are the first 2 of the 3 previews that I'll give you. So be on the lookout, because next up is the big Whitney. But I hope you enjoyed the show. Please subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment and let me know how you feel about these 2 stakes races. And until next time, see you soon.